up, everybody? Welcome back. It's your boy Red X Black with another video. Yo, today, I'm going to be doing an election prediction, but this time I'm going to be talking and giving some of my analysis and my thoughts and such. Okay, so currently we have a situation. This is going to be one of the most unusual elections. I mean, you could have said the same thing about the last one, 2016, but this one is just as unusual. We're in the middle of a pandemic. There's been riots and civil unrest, and leadership hasn't handled it that well. And I'm not just talking about the White House. I'm talking about in general. So I'm gonna start with filling out the safe states. Sorry for the setup. I'm still on my phone at the moment. Oh, that's not a safe state. Okay. So as you can see, these are all the states that I think will, or that usually go Republican and Democrat. So you got, that's not a safe state. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. It's taking me a minute. But, oh my goodness. Overall, right now, I think that ever since this whole because Trump basically skirted through the pandemic because of how politicized it became, and it was just like I don't, it just became really politicized for some reason. And the lockdown orders, stay-at-home orders, they were, the Democrats want us to go back to work, and I mean, the Republicans want us to go back to work. Democrats just want you to stay at home. It just became a real politicized thing. So here Trump. Biden is not a very strong candidate. Trump was the favorite to win for the longest, especially after the primary. Biden always leads in the polls. Like this man just leads in polls and polls and polls. He was doing this in the primary. If you remember back to the primary before Iowa voted, the man was leading all the time. He was leading in the national polls. He was leading here and there. And then when it came to Iowa, he got like fourth. And then New Hampshire was fifth. And then he came in I think he came in second in the Nevada. And then in the South Carolina primary, you all know what happened. They got everybody to drop out and then coalesce behind Biden after he won the South Carolina primary. And then just Bernie, it was just like after Super Tuesday, it was a wipeout on both Super Tuesdays. So Biden, he does represent kind of what Hillary Clinton represented. He's the corporate wing of the Democratic Party. And so that really doesn't bode well, because those same policies, that same way of governing led to Trump in the first place. And a lot of them don't really recognize that, and they don't even attempt to address that. Like Hillary still won't blame herself. It's going to be Russia, it's going to be Bernie, it's going to be somebody other than Hillary is the reason Hillary lost. So that's how she thinks, and that's the mindset of a lot of these people. These strategists, just the people in the party in general, they don't reflect on themselves. They just like to blame everybody else. So, for that longest time, Biden was not the favorite to win. Even if you watch the media, they're gonna cape for him. But Trump was the favorite to win. That was up until these riots happened and the protests, which still continue to this day. It's been like 16, 17 days now. Today is June 11th, so it's been about a couple weeks. And Trump did not, he's still running like he's on the campaign trail. He's like never left the campaign trail. So as of right now, Biden's lead has increased drastically. He was leading in the CNN poll. He was leading 14 points at one point. So let's get into this. State like Colorado. Start off with that. Colorado, it's kind of, I think there's a lot of more upper class people there, or upper middle class. They would probably still vote for him, even though he's against the legalization of marijuana. They would most likely still vote for him. I think Nevada would go to him, probably not by a lot. It would probably be a little closer. Some of these states is probably going to be a little closer than people would think. Texas, I don't think Texas is going to flip yet. There's been it's come close. Like there's been a high demographic shift, but I don't think Texas is ready to flip yet. Maybe in the next election or the next election cycle or the one after that, it may be 2028. But as of right now, I still think it's going red. New Mexico, it's most likely going to stay in the blue column. Now, Biden has led in some polls in Arizona right here. Now, that is Arizona. You have a lot of those establishmentarian type people there, and they don't favor Trump that much. Like he doesn't do his. I think his approval rating might be below water in Arizona, so I'm not sure. But we're gonna go ahead and put that in the Republican column because I just don't think that it's that likely to flip. Because like when Hillary was leading in the polls at this time, she was leading nationally about 4 points. Biden is leading by 8 points. So if Biden outperforms what Hillary did, that outperformance may not be as drastic as it may seem. So he may flip a few states that Hillary didn't get. Like I'm gonna go ahead and put Michigan in Biden's column. Now that is only that. Well, after this lockdown, I don't know if they're gonna have that much favorability towards the Democrats because of Gretchen Whitmer, but I think that with how everything has been, I think there are people who just want normalcy, which is what Biden represents. And that's kind of a misconception because Biden, he portrays himself that way, but in a leadership position or in a time of crisis, who knows how he'd be? He'd probably govern the same way Trump does. He'd just do it quietly. That's the reason that they really don't like Trump that much is because he's too loud. Like he just makes too much noise. He draws too much attention and they can't get their stuff done subtly. I forgot about Illinois. Iowa is most likely going to stay in the red column. Oops, that was an accident. Iowa's most likely going to stay in the Trump's column. I don't think that the trade deal, the impact from the tariff, what is that? The China trade war. Jesus, I cannot talk right now. I don't think it was enough because there was a lot of stories about farmers struggling, but they did give them relief and, it's like, what have you done for me lately? So that's kind of like it would stay in your mind more. Let's go down to Florida real quick. Now, Florida is always Florida's like the strangest state out of all of them. There's always been some just this weird stuff going down in Florida all the time. Like their population is older, and Trump and Biden both have older bases to say the least. And I think that it just depends on which older people like Trump or Biden more. And I don't know if I just don't know if Biden's gonna be able to, because a lot of them like Trump. I mean, they're retired, they got money now, so a lot of them like Trump. And the Cuban population there, they don't like, some of them don't like immigration that much. So I don't think that Florida will go blue this time. It's gonna take another special time, somebody with actual energy to energize from the Democratic side to flip Florida back again. I think it's gonna go red again. It's been trending red for past 2 years now. So Ron DeSantis got in there. Just so it's been trending red. Now let's go up to New Hampshire. I think that in this cycle, it may be, I'm going to put it in Biden's column, but I think it's going to be by slim margin because New Hampshire has a lot of independents, and Biden does not do that well with independents. And that was very, very clear in the primary, and I don't think it's changed much in the general. I keep forgetting about New York. I forgot about New York. New York, that's obviously going to go blue. Virginia's gonna go blue. I think Virginia's just trended. Virginia has the Beltway people, the DC Beltway people, so they love people like Biden and like Hillary and stuff. So they that's definitely going blue. North Carolina. I don't know. The last time it went blue was 2008, and that was because Obama had energized people. He knew how to really energize a base, and I don't think that. Oops, that was an accident. I don't think that it can. I don't think Biden has that energy. He has the black vote, as he says, but I don't think that it's enough. There's not enough energy to really flip it back the other way. I mean, because as of right now, this is just my analysis for right now, because he's leading drastically in the polls because Trump has New Jersey. Trump has not handled this whole thing well. The whole riots and the George Floyd situation. He has just not handled it well. Like he is. All of them are really just doing this just weird stuff. They're taking photo ops and just they're going overboard and extra when all people want is policy and change. And Trump is just digging down, acting like he's Nixon or something. And then you got the Democrats wearing kente cloth. I'm like, what are y'all doing? What are you guys doing? And so he hasn't handled this well at all. And he thinks when he's like the polls, they were wrong back in 2016. But that may not be the case this time. I'm serious. They may not be the case this time. And I don't think that he's taken it as serious. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put Maine. I'm gonna go ahead and give it. It's gonna be split. I'm gonna give it the split. I think it's the first or second district. Don't quote me on that, but Biden's gonna get a delegate out of that, and Trump's gonna get the other delegates. Um, then we're gonna go over to Ohio. Ohio. Whew. Okay. Ohio, I think that it's going to stay red. And that's only like Trump railed against outsourcing back in 2016 and 15. But when he gets into office, he outsourced more jobs in his first year than Obama did in 8 years. That's insane. So a lot of those Rust Belt states and those Midwest states, their jobs are still going. But I think a lot of them still have a lot of anger against the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party turned its back on the people. They became the party of corporations, just like the Republicans did. But the Republicans still can get them on some social issues, and sometimes they have more populist drives like Trump did. And I think that helps, but stuff is really not changing still. It's just, if you have real hatred toward a party or somebody, then, you're not going to just go back. It's kind of like a protest vote. So, Nebraska is going to go red all the way. The time it went blue under Obama, the one district went blue that was a special time because they targeted the district. It was, but Biden, I don't think he's going to do that. And I don't think, even if he did, I don't know if it would happen. So Minnesota, I still think it's going to go blue because, this whole situation with George Floyd, I've seen some other people say, oh, it's going to turn people off and it's going to turn them, it's going to make them more likely to vote Trump. I don't think so because I think the energy and like anger on the ground is so stark, and that what Trump did, instead of trying to find some like hey guys, okay, I hear you. No, he just doubled down, and I don't think that bodes well for you when you if you wanted somebody to vote for and you're just doubling down against something you doubling down in a situation that's already really tense. And so I just think that Minnesota's still going to stay blue, and it comes down to Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. So if I'm being honest, Pennsylvania, I don't see it flipping back blue, even though Biden I'm a Scranton guy. All those years he was in Congress and all those years he was in the Obama administration, all he did was help outsource and create the situation that led to Trump. And the voters, I don't think they're going to forget any of that. And his record, he talks about, go look at my record. You look at it and you're like, So I just don't think that Pennsylvania's ready to flip yet. And now you can see Trump edges this one out if he just gets Pennsylvania. So now you have Wisconsin. And Wisconsin is one of those states that if I just I don't think that they're gonna flip either. So this may end up being the map. Like I said, Biden may flip back Michigan, and he may, get the rest of the states to Hillary won. But other than that, I don't know. Oops, not West Virginia is not supposed to be blue. Sorry. I just don't think that he has that. I don't think he has it, to do this, because he represents everything that people were rebelling against in the first place. So it's like, it seems very counterintuitive to go right back to that and put that up against the person that people voted for as like a rebellion against what you represent. And Trump is not even much different from the people that they were angry at. Like, all he does is talk. He's a bomb thrower. You really can just talk it away. He can he's a good salesman, but in reality, he's doing the same things that people were angry at, that for Obama and Bush and Clinton for doing, and that they were just railing against. He just became a part of the establishment. He just talks. He talks too much. That's all he does. And this election could be decided by who can sell themselves the best. And the older population may help decide this election, and that's like a serious thing. It may be decided by like 65 plus. So I'm gonna come back with another analysis video. This is as of right now. If the election were held today, this may be what the map would look like. But other than that, that's what I think for today. But I'm gonna come back with a video talking about what a Biden victory would look like, and then what a Trump victory would look like. I mean, this is kind of what I'm gonna say. This is what a Trump victory would look like. But I'm gonna come back with what a Biden victory would look like. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, like, whenever you do it, however you're gonna do it, wherever you do it, just do it. It's your boy Red X Black, and I'm out. Peace.